right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Text 10 podcast. It's myself, Keith, and Clay here with me. Folks, you don't know this, but I'm actually looking at a screenshot I took of Clay because he finally got his audio hooked up by himself correctly for the first time. So, yeah, we will be sharing that on social media so everybody can see. But the pure joy, I mean, it's like a kid's face the first time they have like ice cream or like sweet tea or something.
I did it.
It was pretty funny.
I did it. You see what happens? What happens is we get on here, and all of a sudden, one of us shows up, and then the others show up, and every time up until this point, there's been some. I won't be able to hear Keith, but today, as soon as he opened his mouth, I could hear him. It was great.
I was actually a little bit hesitant to actually open my mouth because I'm like, here we go again. It's going to take 10, 15 minutes for Clay to get his audio fixed because that's what always happens, right? And then how does the audio get fixed? Like, be honest with everybody. How does it actually get fixed?
Kate
has to come in and fix it for him. Yeah. She has to come in and wipe his little bottle for him. Oh, golly.
Hey, get this. You remember we talked about this not long ago. When my dad asked you to, when you were here, my dad asked you to fix his cell phone?
No, his desk phone.
Oh, his desk phone.
Yes.
Yeah. The other day he was here and he said, hey, I need you to fix my email. I said, Dad, I could go launch rockets with Elon before I could fix your email. And then like 2 days later, he's like, hey, what about my email? Dude, I can't help you.
You're like, I don't think you understand.
I would do anything for you.
Right. But I can't do that.
You fix your email.
Let's
start with what's your password? I don't know.
You're like, hang on, pick up your phone. Is it working? No. Okay, that's all I know. Like that's where it is. Oh, that's funny. It sounds like crazy. I need to take care of Dad's email for him. So that's IT department.
Well, guess what? Guess who saved the day?
Oh, Kate.
Of course.
Oh, there you go. Kate's coming through in the clutch. Mm-hmm. There you go. Good. I hate being an IT guy. Hate it.
All that.
So, okay. I've recorded an entire podcast about this on my other podcast, Entrepreneurship Simplified, but I'm going to do an abbreviated version here of what happened with Graham. So if you didn't watch this podcast, Graham decided he was going to start his entrepreneurial journey at school. So they have these bucks that you can earn for being a good kid, right? Which again, like I said on that podcast, and I fully believe in it, is I would pay every kid cash, actually, to just be good in class if I was a teacher. Like, I would end up probably going into debt to teach because, like, hey, if I give you $20...
$5 to just be quiet for 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Like, because I can't do this anymore because half of you are 10-year-old boys and I can't fathom it. Like, bless everybody who decides to become a teacher because you don't deserve that. You haven't done anything to deserve to be tormented by little boys, but here you've decided to go do this for a living. So anyway, so they give these Bluff Bucks out that, you know, they can take them and then they have, it's kind of like when you go to the arcade back in the day, right? Like you've got all these little trinkets you can get with your tickets. The more expensive stuff's on the wall, like, but you know, there's stuff for like, you know, 5 tickets, there's stuff for like 50,000 tickets, right? So I have seen the Bluff Bucks store briefly as walking through school one time, but I didn't really pay attention. But you know, there's different levels of things that you can pay for. Well, Graham has decided that boys don't get any of these bucks because the teachers prefer girls. I have told him it's because little boys don't know how to stop talking. They don't know how to stop making noise.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
Like I also would give all the bucks if it's based on who's good. I would probably also give them all to girls because again, his sister that is 13 months older. When it comes to like just doing what she's told, not specifically with me, but she's doing what she's told, she's going to be quieter. She's just going to be like more compliant, right? Whereas he wants to joke about everything. Everything's a joke. So I was like, yeah, no, I can see how girls get more, but he's trying to devise a way to get something. I still don't know what it is that he wanted to get, but he's like, I got to get my hands on some of these bucks. So he decides, him and his buddy decide they're going to fill a hole in the market. They don't have stickers in the store. Right.
Yeah.
So he convinces my wife to take $9 of his dollars and buy stickers off Amazon, like 300 stickers, that he's going to then sell to 3rd and 4th graders to get these Bluff Bucks to then buy whatever it is that he wants in this Bluff store. Right. So, okay, like I mean, I don't think it's a good idea, like in general, because you're taking real cash and you're trading it for fake cash to buy some junk. But whatever. Like, okay, let's see how this goes.
Sounds like
Smash,
crypto.
smash it, smash it.
Really
Oh my gosh, man!
awesome.
Everybody wants these stickers. So then
Okay.
he starts a little we'll call the cartel, where he gives some stickers to his friends and they can go sell them and they get a portion of the profits, right? And so he can touch more kids, right? Because he's in this I think everybody does pods, but he's in the GT pod. I assume everybody's in some sort of pod. So it's like him in another class. So he can only touch so many kids on a regular basis, right? So he has friends that are in other classes and other pods, so he gives them to them, and like we've disseminated now stickers through the school. So he comes home the first week and he's like, I mean, I'm crushing it. I've got like hundreds of dollars, hundreds of bucks, right? I'm like,
Hundreds of Bluff Bucks.
I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? He's like throwing Bluff Bucks up, like, like he's making it rain. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it worked. Congratulations. So he goes to school the next day. And the next day is Monday. He goes to school, and as he's like coming to get into my truck, he apparently gets in trouble with one of the teachers. They're like, hey, like, what are you doing with all those Bluff Bucks? And he like tells them what they're doing. And like, you can't do that. He's like, what do you mean I can't do that? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, you're taking advantage of kids. Like, they worked really hard for those Bluff Bucks and you're taking them from them. And he's like, but I'm giving them stickers. And then I don't know if he actually said this to the teacher or not, but like he said to me, he goes, well, isn't that the same as like you going in to Walmart and buying a loaf of bread? And
Sounds like it to me.
you use your hard-earned cash, like money, to buy it. I was like, well, it's the exact same thing. I said, but I'll take a step further.
What do you mean? Wait. He got in trouble for this?
Hang on, not yet.
Okay.
He's just being reprimanded at this point. Like, you can't do this. This is not the right thing to do, as if he's doing something wrong, morally incorrect, right? Morally corrupt.
Awesome.
So he goes. So I said, "Oh, I'm going to take a step further." I took it 2 steps further. One, they are taking those same Bluff Bucks and giving them back to the school. Their hard-earned Bluff Bucks, giving them to the school for junk, right? So how's it any different if I give it to Graham for junk, or if I give it to the school and I get junk? It's the exact same thing.
That's right.
But let's do another real world thing here. Said teachers, again, bless them, I wouldn't do this, but like, just to get on the same page here, said teachers are working for cash. They're trading their time for money that they then will go to Starbucks and trade that cash for Starbucks because that's what they want. They'll trade it for every good and service that they want in their life. How is it any different? It's not. I mean, it's just not.
It's not.
Right. So I think, okay, they just tell me you can't do it anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, it was fun while it lasted. I mean, good job.
I don't really know why you can't do it anymore, but
right. I was like, I disagree with why you can't do it anymore, but okay, fine. Like, they don't want you to do it, then you can't do it. Like, you're going to follow the rules. If you do it again, you will be in, like, he was like, so am I going to be in trouble? I was like, no, you're going to be in trouble. I'm like, I don't care. Like, in fact, I'm going to give you $5 for doing a good job. Like, here's actual cash. Like, there you go. Good job, bud. And he's like, okay. So then he comes home the next day and he goes, hey, I got a mark. I was like, what do you mean you got a mark? What'd you get a mark for? I got a mark for the sticker ordeal. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean you got a mark for the sticker thing? He goes, well, they're saying that like I can't do that and I'm actually in trouble. So like, if you get so many marks, you can't do like the end of the 6 weeks like party that they
pizza
do.
party.
It's something like that, right? You can't do that. And he got a mark for it. I'm like, well, now that doesn't feel good. Like, so, okay, tell me can't do it. And again, like, thinking on it, like, I've talked to a couple other parents because everybody's like, this is hysterical that he did this. Like, and my kid appreciated the stickers, by the way. But after talking to a couple, I understand, like, you don't want every kid bringing all the junk from home and trying to like create a bartering system with these Bluff Bucks. Okay, I get that. You're right. Fine. But do we need to punish him for this? I would say no. I would actually say, hey, look, while we can't do this, let's acknowledge the fact that it was a very good idea. You found a hole in the market. The market here is the school store, right? You found a hole there.
The school doesn't have the stickers.
Right.
Yeah.
You found a hole in the market, and you filled that with a solution, which was buying stickers off Amazon, bringing them and exchanging, a good for a dollar, a Bluff Buck. But the fact is, so I said, like, I legitimately think, because again, they try to get them to do these stupid projects where they make something at home and then they sell it for like a quarter. And what ends up happening is the adults are the ones that make all the crap. And then, so it costs us like $25 to make this crap. And then we have to give our kid a bunch of quarters so they can go buy other crap from other kids. And this is supposed to teach them entrepreneurship. So I'm like, $40 into a bunch of crap, and that wasn't worth 25 cents, or that was worth, like $2. And like, I got $2 worth of material and I sold it for 25 cents. Like, what, like, why? Like, this is a much better actual real life example of entrepreneurialism. And
I agree.
like, hey, like, again, tell me you can't do it. That's fine. But I think you should acknowledge the fact that it was a very good idea and it was very well executed. They didn't disrupt anything. There were no fights. There were nothing, like, no negative consequences came out of this, other than he learned that a couple of his friends couldn't be trusted with stickers because they didn't give him any money back. But again, that's a consequence, right? Like, that you learn, okay, I can't go into a business partnership with everybody, because not everybody values the partnership, right? So again, I was very proud of him. So then I wrote a note to the teacher, and like, you're supposed to sign off every week, like, hey, he got a mark. And I was like, hey, by the way, I think this is a terrible idea to give him a mark for this. In fact, I think he should have probably been commended for the fact that he did this. You know, like, not only are we not, saying, hey, good job, we're saying, hey, you shouldn't do this, and also you're in trouble, which just, it doesn't feel good. In our school systems, again, bless their heart, we're supposed to be little worker bees, right? We're supposed to be drones, because the way school was when you were a kid and the way that school is now has not changed at all, right? We have not changed with the times. The U.S. level of education, we used to be in the top 25. Now, my gosh, I'd be surprised if we're in the top 50. Like, we are not, like, we're teaching to this stupid STAR test that they took yesterday, which, again, it's not the teacher's fault. It's,
No.
it's the Department of Education. It's the Texas State Department of Education. It's all these people saying, well, we have to have some way to measure it, so we're gonna grade to the stupid test that actually means nothing, because whether or not you pass your STAR test in 4th grade means nothing in the rest of your life. At least it did for me.
I was wondering about that a few weeks ago when the government says we're getting rid of the federal education program. Does that mean all those STAR tests, that kind of garbage, goes away? Or
no, because that's all state-based, right?
It is STAR. I guess STAR, yep. Texas. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's all state. Because when I took mine was the TCAP. I don't know if it's still called that, but the Tennessee, whatever it was.
In Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, those things were, in my opinion, useless then. They're still useless now.
Yes. Do you remember taking those? I guess it would have been the English, the reading comprehension or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they would write a story about rocks or something. The most boring story you could possibly try to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get you to, like, screw up because you're like, just fall asleep.
I'm not reading this.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, something
I didn't
has
learn
to
anything from that, by the way.
No. And, like, in teaching to that, again, if you're a teacher, you have to do what your job is, right? Your job is you have to get these kids to pass it. I get it. But at what point does somebody with a brain, somebody like an Elon Musk, come out and go, hey, this ain't working? Elon Musk started a school for his kids, right? Like, one of the engineers at SpaceX or something started it, and he has, like, this online school now that he does, or at least online tutoring type stuff. Your kid has to be at least in, like, 3rd or 4th grade or something before you can start it. I need to look back into that. But like, it's a complete different way of teaching education than what we do right now, because like, right now it's just a bunch of memorization of stuff that doesn't matter. It doesn't. Like,
sure.
I mean, tell me that when my kids get to high school and they start doing algebra 2 trigonometry, tell me that they will use that in their life. They won't, right? I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, I haven't used algebra 2 trigonometry, like, ever. And frankly, if I needed to, I got this. This will do it for me. Right? I can put anything in it. It'll do it for me.
Be a little computer.
Right. And by the time my kids are, get to be my age, I mean, they'll just have to think it, and it'll play out somewhere, right? On a wall somewhere, on a screen somewhere. I mean, it's just, it infuriates me that school is no better. And I tell my kids all the time when they get really upset about a grade, like, look, I'm not mad at you. Like, you have to, like, if you're not getting a good grade because you're not trying, this would be Graham, not Annabelle. Annabelle tries always. If you're not getting a good grade because you're not trying, then I have a problem. if you're not getting a good grade because you tried and you messed up, it's all right. We can try again tomorrow. I mean, because frankly, what you're doing today is not really going to mean that much. What you're doing in ninth grade is not going to mean a whole lot for your future. To me, it's much more about social aspect, learn how to get along with other people, learn the absolute basics, and learn how to get through things that suck.
Don't be a moron, but yeah, I get it.
I mean, learn how to get through things that just suck really bad, because
Yeah.
that's what part of life is like doing things that aren't super fun.
It
Right?
doesn't change.
It doesn't change. It doesn't get any better.
That's right.
Like, but I mean, because some people hate their jobs, they still have to go, right? Luckily, I enjoy mine. I assume you enjoy yours most days when your diesel tank isn't getting filled up with DEF. But sorry, I had to take that shot every once in a while.
We can talk about that now if you want to.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the whole thing is just it's messed up. So I still have to decide. I think I'm going to take, because the principal at that school is amazing. She's unbelievable.
Okay.
She's a great woman. I think I'm going to send her the podcast, and I'm going to send the superintendent the podcast. And it's already been passed around apparently to at least some of the members of the school board. And again, this is nothing against this specific school. It's absolutely nothing against these specific teachers. They're great teachers, but something's broken.
That's broken. That's not right. I agree with you. Somebody in that line is not quite understanding what he was doing.
Yeah, and again,
because I can't imagine. I mean, even at Flower Bluff, that's not that people aren't getting that. That doesn't make sense.
He's in GT, gifted and talented. I said, so what you're telling me is
these fourth grade, right?
Yeah, fourth grade, gifted and talented. So you're telling me these kids that are gifted and talented, according to you, like you're the ones who are saying that they're gifted and talented, that we're going to stifle their ingenuity? They're in this program because they're smart and they think outside the box. Like, come on. And then we're going to say, nope, but you can't think that far outside the box. That's not a good idea.
Doesn't make any sense to me either.
Yeah.
But again, I still think that somebody's not getting it. And the higher ups who have developed this fun program, I mean, is the whole school aware that this happened?
No, I'm sure not. I'm sure it got swept under the rug because, again, and I get it. You don't want every kid in the world bringing stuff to school to sell, because that would be a nightmare.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be a nightmare to do that, but like, my gosh, like some kids bringing in like his socks, his sister's socks. Like, hey, anybody want some socks? Like,
you sold my puppy.
Right, exactly. I mean, so I get why you can't do it, but I mean, at the same time, like, we shouldn't punish him for it because it was not a punishable offense.
I agree. No,
that said,
not at all.
The kid never gets marks. He got 3 marks that week. I was like, bro, I excused the one, and the other 2 I do not excuse. We have a problem here, son. Like, that's a problem. That's a major problem. So he's like, what? I mean, I was trying to sell stickers. I was like, no. The other 2 have nothing to do with stickers. Good try. Good try.
I'm so depressed over my stickers.
Exactly.
Sorry, Dad.
It sent me into a spiral. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Can I have another $15?
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, so that was my week last week. Again, I think I'm going to go ahead and send stuff on up the chain here, but because I just can't let stuff go. That's my problem. I just can't let stuff go.
I don't blame you on this. I don't blame you a bit on this one. Yeah.
So tell me about your Kentucky fan, like your Kentucky fan. How's that? I have no idea what I'm about to hear, but it better not be anything bad about Tennessee coming from a Kentucky fan.
That's the whole story. So
they're just delusional, man.
We were at the Kentucky A&M baseball game. Justin was pitching on the Saturday, and we talked about this. We bought general admission tickets that were, I think, $12 instead of $500 for the seats.
Jeez. That's a big difference.
And so and you can stand. We stood at the front row behind the seats for the entire game. My feet hurt at the end of it
because you're old, but yeah,
I guess. Anyway, so I noticed there was a Kentucky fan wearing a Kentucky shirt standing next to me, and twice, on the second time is when I asked him, but he would pick up his phone when this certain player would come up to bat, and he would record the whole bat. And so I asked him, "Was that your kid?" And he said, "Oh yeah, that's my kid." And so we got to talking, and he said, "Hey, the atmosphere here is incredible. A&M has done such a great job." And so we're talking, and he says, "But tell me about the howdy thing. What is the howdy thing?" And I said, "All right, first of all, just understand, I didn't go to school here,
I'm not a weirdo.
I need you to know." And notice I didn't walk up saying howdy.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. That's
Sure.
how they say hello.
Sure.
And so he said, "So they're that's not sarcastic?" I said, "No, it's not sarcastic. They're actually being nice to you." And he said, "Oh man, okay, well that changes everything."
That changes everything.
I was
Okay,
kind
hang on a
of getting
second.
tired of that.
Hang on a
Go ahead.
second. This is a Kentucky fan, so their intelligence level, man. Like we got to take that into account. Okay, just telling you.
Okay. So then he said, I was looking forward to coming here. I am not looking forward to going to Tennessee. And I said, "Why? What's wrong with Tennessee?"
Because we're
I'm
so
just
good.
celebrating because I know we're going to talk
so
about
good.
this. Check
That's fine.
last weekend, by
Hey,
the way.
look, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Okay, like
Yeah,
let's be really
well,
clear. By the way, I'm very, very happy for Justin specifically.
me too.
But yeah, I mean,
Gosh.
come on, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. They scored some runs finally. Congratulations.
They did. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, the guy says Tennessee fans just the worst.
That is not true.
I do not want to go to LSU, and I do not want to
That
go
is
to
not
Tennessee,
true.
but my kid's playing, and I'm going to have to. But those fans are the worst.
This is not true. That guy is categorically false. It is a fact that Tennessee fans. Okay, we hate.
This is going to be a fact.
This is a fact. Fact. How many games have you been into at Tennessee? 0, sir.
Not
0.
Not, and by,
many
by the way,
basketball
that
games?
guy talked. I don't want to go. I
How
don't
many
want to go to
basketball games
Tennessee.
have you been to?
Y'all are terrible.
How many basketball games at Tennessee? How many football games? How many softball games? How many baseball games? 0. You've been to 0.
It doesn't matter. I'm
double
not
zeros.
going because y'all are terrible.
Oh my gosh. So as
that
the
guy
person
told me that.
as the person who's been there, as the person who went to school there, who's been to many games there, we are great fans. We are very accommodating, very gracious. We even
Doesn't
allow.
sound like it.
Listen. Fact. We
Doesn't
allow.
sound like it.
We allow Alabama fans, Georgia fans, who, by the way, those are the worst, and Florida fans, second, really close second. We allow all 3 of those fans to come to our tailgate, eat our food, talk smack. That's fine. We can
Sounds
talk
like y'all
trash the
harass
entire
them.
time and have a great time. And when they leave, they're like, "Man, you guys are really nice." Yes, that's correct, because we are
That's not what that guy
Southerners.
said.
Because we are Southerners. Kentucky's not
That's
even
not
really
what
part
that
of the
guy
South,
said.
man. They're just a bunch of they're like pseudo Yankees. They're mad because it gets really cold in the winter, which I don't blame them. I would be cold. I would be mad too if I was cold in the winter. But
Well, just
no,
know that
he's
when
wrong.
Kentucky plays Tennessee, I'm going for Kentucky. That kid, the son was
I couldn't be more disappointed in you right now.
He was the freshman. What was he? The freshman SEC player of the weekend. He had
Good
a pretty
for him.
good
Like
game.
that's great for that guy. That's great
He's
for
gonna
that
smoke
kid.
Tennessee too, just the way A&M did this past weekend.
You're right.
Tennessee may not be that good.
I mean, what are they? 27 or 28-4? That's not bad.
But you've been lucky so far. It looks like.
Did you look at the record for Kentucky and A&M? Because it's not great.
Oh, it's not good.
Like neither one of them. They both
agree.
suck, by the way. So it's not good. It's not good at all. So,
I agree. Yeah,
okay.
I'm not going to Tennessee.
Okay. Well,
that guy hates y'all.
You know what? You're not invited. You've been uninvited. If you want to be rude, you've been uninvited. Rude. Seriously though, like I will say about Tennessee fans, they're just nice for the most part. I mean, obviously you have the drunk people, right? Now, one of the more terrifying moments I ever had was when we went to the NCAA tournament with the men's basketball team. We went up to Ohio. The people there were fantastic. The atmosphere was fantastic. It was unbelievable, right? We win that game. We fly to Birmingham, Alabama, and we're going to play Alabama in Alabama. Not really fair to give them basically a home game, in my opinion, but whatever. So, I mean, it's like there's like 25 Islander fans and the rest of them are Alabama fans, right? I legitimately had multiple people trying to fight me in the bathroom and trying to get refreshments and stuff. And I'm like, you guys don't even know where Texas A&M Corpus Christi is. Like, you guys are ranked number 1. We had a play-in game to be number 16. So, like, what are you so worried about? Like, are you worried that we're actually going to beat you? Like, why are you trying to fight me? And obviously, adult beverages come into play. They were drunk. But I will say, for the other Alabama fans that were around, they got them in check. And they were like, hey, like, just, like, push them away from me. But, yeah, Alabama fans.
No kidding.
Oh, there was one dude, and, my huge stature at 5'8", there was a dude, he was probably 6'4", like, in my face. And I was just like, unreal. But, I mean, he got jerked back pretty quick by some other people. But, yeah, no, Tennessee fans are good. They are. South Carolina fans, fantastic. Fantastic. Vanderbilt, because they don't win anything, there's no, they're like, yeah,
there's
whatever.
no fans.
Well, the ones that are, they are very nice. Kentucky fans, in my opinion, I've only ever been to football and basketball, never baseball. Football, it was not a problem because, again, we beat them all the time. Basketball, those fans are not quite as kind because they expect to win, but for the most part, they were pretty good. But, yeah, so that's categorically false. That guy, it's fake news. Fake news. You know what? You know what I heard about that guy and his son? They voted for Kamala. Yeah. You voted. You're hanging out with Kamala fans?
No.
Yes.
I wouldn't think so.
No,
I wouldn't think so.
It's true. It's true. I mean, if he can make up fake news, why can't I? I mean,
we'll
lies.
See.
Just the absolute lies.
I haven't talked to Jeff since they got back. I'm having supper with him tonight.
Oh, well,
I bet he's going to confirm. I bet he's going to confirm.
I bet he confirms that Tennessee fans were great fans. I bet. I mean, I'll bet you a nickel.
I'll let you know. He's ignoring you?
He's ignoring me. It's like we're not even friends. But that said, thank you for supporting us, Jeff and Rat Hole Drilling, being the sponsor of the podcast. Even if you ignore me, you guys are still great. We're going to send you that invoice. Oh, man. So, let's see. What else was I going to talk about?
Hey, I'm getting decent with getting my contacts in. It only took me
3 weeks.
4 minutes.
It takes
4 minutes this morning. I think so.
Well, I mean, at least Kate's not having to put them in for you.
I know, right?
Like, I remember okay. So let's talk about your DEF. Let's talk about your hire.
Oh, the diesel. Okay,
yeah,
let's talk about your hire.
So for those of you who don't know, Clay is a client of Yellowfin Digital. He's been a client for 4 or 5 years, right? I somehow told him it was easy to hire diesel mechanics one time when he was having trouble hiring a diesel mechanic. So therefore, just like everything else, if you volunteer to do something for Clay, you are then not only have at it, it's now your responsibility for the rest of the time, which is why I won't touch their phone system, because I've learned at this point, like, I'm not touching the phone. I don't even know what a phone system looks like. I don't know what a phone is. Sorry, I can't do that. So I helped him hire a mechanic. A mechanic was first, and then I helped him hire Kate and Ronnie and several other people. And he decided that he needed a delivery driver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
again, this is another reason why I'm doing it myself now.
So
I don't trust anybody anymore.
So what happened again? Like, just go ahead and fill us in. Like, did Keith help hire this person?
So Keith did his thing. We talked to a couple of people. Somehow this guy that we did hire went around Keith's system and called us direct, and he sounded all right on the phone, and was actually, anyway, he was in an acceptable pay rate. So he calls and we talk, and I said, I think you'll probably do. You sound all right. Why don't you come in? So he came in, we did another little interview, and I said, shoot, here's go get a drug test, but here's the keys to the truck. And so he did. He went and got a drug test and passed, and I probably should have had him do some sort of make sure you actually have a brain in your head. But so he worked for us for a while, 4 or 5 months.
Did not go through the system.
Went around Key system.
Okay.
And and then one day he called, he was out. It wasn't all that wasn't all that uncommon for him to call. And anyway, he called and he said something. There's water in the diesel tank. The water indicator on the dashboard is on.
Oh God,
So, that's weird. You put fuel in it yesterday, and he's driven at that point. Driven to Alice. Driven 30 minutes. It was almost to where he was going. And so I said, well, okay. Well, I'll send Renee and he can, Renee will figure it out. Renee always does. Renee will figure it
Right.
out. So they end up taking my truck off of the trailer, putting the trailer on Renee's truck, and then winching my truck up onto the trailer and bring it home. And Renee walks in and hands me a water bottle, and he says, "This is not water. This is diesel exhaust fluid in the fuel tank."
Oh man,
You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding. I had to let the guy go. If you're going to make that mistake,
yeah.
what else are you going to do?
Again,
What's
not the first mistake, to be clear, right? Not the first mistake. But yeah, so I mean, the good news obviously is that you have your own mechanics that can fix it for you. Because can you imagine how much that would have cost?
What I knew is you just go get a new engine. You don't even try. But it turns out that wasn't the case. And Renee and Dan had it. Renee and Dan, we fired that truck up at, I don't know, 6:30 that evening, and it kind of coughed and spit for a few minutes, a few seconds, really.
Right.
And it's been fine ever since. We've changed the fuel filter about 10 times since
Just in
then.
case.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I mean, the lesson we learned was don't go around the system.
It's better. I've learned that.
So just saying.
Yeah.
System's in place for a reason, right?
Mm.
Lord. All right. So I'm going to have Graham talk to you about the whole Tennessee not being good fans thing. I'm going to get him to get you on the straight and narrow because he does want to be a guest on the podcast. Because again, Jamie last night so politely said, "Hey, we should have Graham on," and then started a fight in my truck because Annabelle's like, "What? You like Graham more than me? Is he your golden child? Like you love him more than you love me because you don't want me on the podcast?" I was like, "Wait, this wasn't me. I didn't say anything. Like I didn't even say this because you just hit the thing and it starts talking." And Jamie said whatever she said about having Graham on. I'm like, you don't even know who this Jamie is. Like, why are you mad? Like, why are you mad at me?
Like her.
Like, why are you mad at me?
Her.
Oh no, she has no problem with it, Miss Jamie. It's me. So she's like, I can talk to Mr. Clay. I was like, okay, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. You tell me what to talk about. I'm like, good God. I mean, if this is what it's like at 11, I don't know if I want to make it to 22. Like, I don't know if I can do this same 11 years again because I don't think I will survive that. So
maybe.
So yeah. So Jamie, thank you. You started a fight in the back of the truck.
We're fighting my truck.
I mean, and of course, Graham's just the whole time just laughing like her. It's because I'm funny. It's because I'm funny. Like,
we decided that Annabelle is a little higher class than what this podcast is.
Like the intelligence level is it's too high. But I mean,
don't disagree.
I told her that she can come on and we'll let her sit and talk for a couple minutes about whatever she wants to, and we'll get along with it. I mean, Graham, again, the humor level of us is about the same as a 10-year-old boy, so it works out really well, right? I mean, it's just like talking to one of your buddies. Annabelle doesn't understand that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so now both of them are excited because I've told both of them at some point they're going to be guests on the Text 10 podcast. They really just want to be able to send it to all their friends because
I know. Fine.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I can't tell you how many people heard my podcast about Graham's story, the other podcast I recorded, because Graham got home and texted it to all of his friends. He's like, listen to what my dad said. Listen to what my dad said, and send it out to everyone that he knows.
Awesome.
All 15 friends that he's allowed to text back and forth.
Awesome.
With. So yeah, so I assure you, we'll get more listens that week, whatever week that is. We'll definitely get more listens because they'll give it out to everybody. So
there it is.
There it is. All right, that's the podcast, folks. Appreciate everybody joining us again. Rat Hole Drilling, thanks for being the sponsor. Jeff, you're the best, even if you ignore me, man. Yeah, all right, man. We'll talk to you again soon.